Hey folks, we're gonna do some Eberron stuff tonight. So give me a second here to check my signal, make sure everything sounds cool, and then we'll get to work. Let's see. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Check. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, sounds good. All right. Beep, boop, 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 boop. I've just posted I'm live on Twitter if you want to find out when I'm live in the future. I'm here 6 days a week. You can follow me at Phil Kearney. Let's see. I'm going to kick across the Discords here real quick just to say hey to folks, and then we'll get to work. So, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing game supplements. I publish them online. I've had my attention focused on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for the past few years. This is an Eberron adventure, which is a setting in Dungeons & Dragons, produced by Wizards of the Coast. It's intended for 8th level characters. There's a slew of other work that I've produced already in the description down below that you are welcome to check out at your leisure. See some of the other artwork that I've produced. If you're a D&D enthusiast, check out some of the ideas. If you think any of this stuff is cool, consider making a purchase. It'd be appreciated to support the channel. Otherwise, you can support the channel by, let's click this. Is this how we do stuff these days? I feel like something's just out of place. Hold on. Let me doodlebug here. Let's see how that goes. Did that work out? No, that did not. We need to go to what? Display this top? Does the... Yeah, I feel like I've gone mad. So I'm gonna B, right button, B, right button. Okay, cool. So that works. I had my configuration all screwed up somehow. Let me check. Yeah, like, subscribe, bell icon, send out the signal to all the boys and girls. Bob's your uncle, and God bless him for being here. That's muted. That's good. Let's see. This is a book cover we created back in episode 40. Like around 40. We're at episode 142 right now. Yeah, let's keep at that. Let's see. Looks like everything's okay. Cool. So we've been creating some monster tokens. It was a fun emotional and mental reset for the work that I'm doing here, but I still have a map to finish. So I really can't just go off and play tokens. I really need to get the work done, which was the whole purpose of streaming, to make sure I get my work done. So let's get some work done, and I think I have maybe we'll see where I'm at after an hour. So like around what is it 7:10? We'll see where I'm at around 8:10 or so, and if I got more in me, we'll keep pushing. Otherwise, cheers. So let's see where we're at. Okay, so right now we are building the floor for the constabulary. Stabbing with your knives. Stabulary, there we go. And I think what we want to do here is, I'm happy with these slats as is for now. Before we start mucking up the place, we want to just make sure it's sit pretty. So let's see, how do I want to do this? I can have, I think I want to, I don't know, do I want to run slats this way, or do I want to run slats this way? Yeah. Go here. I don't feel very organized today, a little out of sorts, so if I'm even more rambly than usual, cheers. There's nothing I can do about it, so I can't apologize for it. All I can do is just try to, do. Beep, 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 beep. Bloop. Oops, definitely need to do some cleanup here. Some cleanup here. So yeah, this is just, today we are just doing the details, doing all the detail work just to make sure this thing gets built proper, looks right, professional, perhaps, even. So, if you got anything to say, I'd love to hear it, because I got no idea what's on my mind tonight. And Muse hasn't really queued up any points of interest yet, though I'm sure she's going to speak her mind about whatever comes up. She sees the big picture and just beams it into my head. So it's my job to be receptive, shut up, sit down, and get to work. So delete, erase, snurp. Here. Snurp, that. A little inconsistency there. I can straighten that up. Beep, burp, boop. We'll do that. Get rid of these little sketchery bits like that. What are we talking about tonight? Open mic, man. If anyone's got anything to say, you are welcome to say it. I'll have an opinion, I'm sure. I reserve the right to pass. But yeah, thanks. Big shout out to Dreams and other folks that have been coming into the channel. Thanks for new supporters. We've picked up a couple more followers here on the channel in the past week or so, as well as some additional Patreon support. That is very, very kind and incredibly appreciated. Let's see, where is this? Is the constabulary? Drop down here into the line yard. Jail. Knickknacks here. Clean up in here. That's pretty good. Just like that. Surge of joy. Thank you. No. Yes. There we go. The door will open, the door will close. Inspector Oofus on patrol, that's me. Tidy up, keep my beach clean. Oofus! Inspector Oofus on patrol! Keep your music at a respectable volume. Be courteous to others. Inspector Oofus on patrol. That's me. Method of Destruction, MOD, was a thrash band back in the 90s, and they just had a bunch of silly-ass surfer beach music like that. It's just ridiculous fun stuff. Just silliness. Like the hate tank, the love boat, the hate tank. Silliness everywhere. But good times, man. Good fun. Just, you know, thrasher, surfer, rock, basically. I think, Would it be so wrong for me to... Free transform and rotate 90 degrees on a clockwise. Ooh, a grid. Not what I intend. Whoop. It's gonna be a lot of this today. Spelljammer art's coming along really nicely. I'm thrilled with the ships. It's coming. I mean, it's building them is a lot easier than I had anticipated. I am completely thrilled with how smoothly spaceship art is coming along. I am not a very technical line art kind of guy. That's why I didn't stick with drafting. But it's been going really well. I've been very, 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 very pleased. 90% strength, and that's a good smudge. Good smudge. Just grab these and pull them across the page to create floor slats. Nice. I said slats. You heard me right. It's a very slatty house. Do 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 do. Yeah, when we finish this map, then we get to make it messy by literally, like, we get to mess this place up because it's gonna get hit by a horde of undead that are not going to be very respectful of people's properties here. It's going to cause a little bit of mischief, a lot of blood. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to duplicate this layer. Actually, just slide. Oops. Yeah, let me just slide that down. I'm just going to push this down the page until it hits the far wall at the bottom here. Assuming that we have enough slats to do so. Looks like we're gonna hit it. I spy with my eye some text. I'm thrilled we have somebody stopping by. What up? Hey Anzi, what's going on, my guy? Long time no see. That's the one. Delete. Delete the elite. Go down here. Not bad. And then here. This. Dragon, what up, my guy? Herbs. Let's copy paste. Good friend and personal mentor Taryn Pounds, also known as Indestructible Boy, had suggested I make some changes to the titles of the channels, like put up front that it's art or like art stream or like 5e design instead of leading with the setting or the product title. And I think that's actually starting to yield some results. So thanks, Taryn. He also suggested a directional mic, and that's proving to be very frustrating and confusing for me to suss all that stuff out. Because the really good ones, you can't just plug into the computer and you're good to go. You actually like need a soundboard, and that is like really pushing my level of technical knowledge. But the plan, I have a, you don't see it through the, can't see it through the Ravnica city sigil behind me, but I have a loft style apartment, so it's just a large It's a very large, I mean, there's a separate room for bed and stuff like that and toilets and stuff, but it's a very large bay area. It's like 1,200 feet of this open space, like a kitchenette's over there, but it's just the only thing that separates that from the den, from the living room and the kitchen is basically an island. So it's a really large floor plan, which is awesome. But there's also a lot of echo. So I want to get a directional mic so I can try to cut out some of the ambient noise that reflects off, because I can't soundproof this whole place. I could have a lot of fun if I did, but it would be ridiculous to try. And I can't build a box to sit in because that would just feel exclusive, and I don't want to do that. That feels weird too. So I'm in the process of trying to shop some better equipment, just so, I don't know, maybe it's not a problem. I just feel like the quality of my mic quality could improve if I invest a little bit of money into it. And I mean, I've been hammering away at doing art every day like a job for, it's like 18 months now, non-stop. I mean, I took a vacation, God bless, but otherwise. Really? Never noticed. I'm gonna go having this ambient noise. Right on. It just feels hollow, you know? I feel like it could be a little richer, but I mean, if I'm just, you know, doubting myself, maybe I shouldn't bother. Something about it just tells me that I could up my game if I had just some better equipment, but I don't know. I certainly don't have any complaints about new folks showing up, because it seems to be happening. Actually, the changes in titles of how I'm labeling things actually seems to be accelerating the amount of people that are subscribing to the channel. I'm not actually getting more view counts. It's just a higher percentage of people are following what we're doing. And maybe that's just because I spam conversations about this shit so much that people are like, okay, fine, shut up, I'll look at it. But I don't know. I'm still sussing stuff out there. I'm going to expand that out a little bit so it hits wall to wall. Just about. But thanks for the feedback, Hansi. Delete the elite. Good. Inspector Ufus on patrol. That's me. Keep your music to a respectable volume. Be courteous to others. Ufus. Sorry, I've got MOD in my head. I can't listen to it, but I don't think I'll get demonetized if I poorly sing it. I've actually been on kind of a surfer kick lately. Listen to 311 of all things. I don't like a lot of 311, but I love their Transistor album, which I think it was like 1991. It was kind of like their big hit album. They had just a shitload of really good singles. That's when everyone's like, you know, number 11 is a K, so they're secretly, you know, white supremacists or some shit like that. And they're very Buddhist, actually, in that they talk a lot about unity and being considerate to others. That's like Inspector Ufus would be. I don't know, there's a common theme there. Nah, I love 311. They're good people as far as I can tell. So don't let them hate. I suspect there's some sort of text shenanigans going on that I'm not participating in. I should really take a gander at. Yeah, there we go. I feel like I want to put like a marble, like not marble. That'd be way too fancy. But it's like a stone slab here in the holding cell, so you can't like dig up the floorboards and run away somehow. You know what? Hard work is the minimum point of entry. Hard work. If you aren't willing to do hard work in creation, you're a poser. Honestly, I don't mean to hate on any creators out there, but the one thing that really tells me that this is baby's first homebrew, like on Reddit or Twitter or Facebook or something, you can tell it's baby's first homebrew because they tell you how much work it took for them to create it. It's like, don't talk to me about how much work you put into your 3-page subclass, because shut the fuck up. Like, straight up, you don't know hard work yet, son. Like, you that is like the bare minimum. That's like showing up to work and putting in 40 hours, you know, like actually working 40 hours instead of just bullshitting for 30 hours and then hammering out some emails for 10. Is like, if your work is good, no one cares how long it took for you to make it. If it's good, that's what matters. If it's stuff that's engaging with people, it just happens. This ridiculously long process is just a great excuse for me to ramble about stuff, talk shit to power, and just, you know, paint. So I'm gonna paint no matter what. So not to discount the compliment, it's actually very appreciated, Anzi. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, if somebody shows up and they want praise just because they showed up and you know, pushed pixels around or slammed out some work, it's like, I'm glad you put in the effort. What'd you actually produce? You know, like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm being overly critical of new creators out there, but it's just, that just always blows my mind. It was like, of course it's hard work. But I mean, I used to shovel shit in a paddock for 3 horses 4 days a week and had to tend to 3 acres worth of field on a tractor and a push mower. Had to fill hay, you know, had to fill a hay loft with 200 bales of hay in a truck, and it's got to move out in 3 hours because the rain's coming in. Like, I think I hate my father for how much he made me work when I was growing up, but at the same time, I gotta give him mad props, because he really drove in some perspective into my head about like what hard work really means. like yeah. So I think like everything I've done in life since college has been like super cushy. All it's really required was mental endurance and just keep moving forward. And that's honestly, like, all the like Napoleon Hill and all the big success books and stuff that you can read is just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until you're sick of it, and then do it some more, because you have to break that spirit of being sick of shit and keep doing it, because if it's worth being done and when you're done with it, it's going to be good. And if it's not good, figure out what about it sucks and then do it again. And just keep doing it and doing it and doing it until it is good. And you'll know it's good because people will start giving a shit. And if no one gives a shit, it's probably because it's not good. And at that point, no one cares how hard it takes for you to do it, because now you're starting to demonstrate you have cool ideas. So, which is a really, here's another knock at people with power. YouTube streamers that have like 30, 40, 150,000 followers that did the work to build the audience first can then go into Kickstarters and put out garbage, but it'll end up making $50,000, $70,000 off of their garbage because people like them. They don't give a crap what they produce. It could be it could be the Illrigger, for God's sake. It could be garbage, but people like you, so it'll sell. So there's a really big mentality about, I mean, there's a comment to be said about just making sense and being able to connect with people. And once they get on board with like your wavelength, then it doesn't really matter what you put out there. So I mean, technically I'm doing this all backwards. I should be trying to be popular and have smart ideas and maybe focus my attention on like DM grognard knowledge base, something like that, with a bunch of D&D shorts and stuff, and that would probably be a lot easier for me to be able to build a large channel count, but it just doesn't. The muse won't let me do it. She's like, no, you gotta paint. I'm like, okay, baby. I'll get back to work. It's not my path. I don't know. I'm really rambling, and I'm probably sticking my foot in my mouth pretty badly. So if I'm out of line at some point, somebody stop me. But at the same time, if you build like Kibble's tasty, for fuck's sake, man. That guy just punches out content after content after content. Core Artificer, God, his Reddit stuff that he puts out, like it's like, here's something for free. Here's something I'm passionate about. Here, take a look at this thing. If you like my shit, consider supporting me on Patreon. That kind of thing. Like, I really respect that. Because they built their audience by consistently producing strong content. It's like, that's just too good. I got to pay attention to you. I pray to become that guy. I would so much rather be that guy than make witty jokes and then just copy stuff from second edition and publish it in a Kickstarter like I made up something smart. Like, get the hell out of here. Now I know I'm talking shit. I am way off base today, guys. Like, I'm so far off. Yeah, it's like Blade Runner 2049, man. I'm not even close to baseline. And they come and fucking retire me if I'm not careful. That's a great movie, by the way. If you have not seen Blade Runner 2049, it is a quality film. Super good stuff. But I'm a dystopian junkie. I was a big fan of Shadowrun. Like, 3rd edition Shadowrun was what I actually played. Although I was certainly aware of other editions of it, and Cyberpunk, but it's just Shadowrun just felt better. It was a genre mess, because it had awakened magic and other races and stuff skinned inside of a cyberpunk setting. But it was such a hot mess. It was actually just a lot of fun because you could do anything you wanted. The last campaign I ran in, we were hired by McDonald's to kill off executives of Taco Bell because they were attempting to take it over to become the last franchise restaurant on the planet. And so that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Beep, 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 beep. Moment of reflection. There we go. Get rid of that. Fix that. Nah, people probably didn't subscribe to me to listen to me talk shit about other people. I should probably be more respectful. I've been on trigger hot takes almost all day today. It's just there's some sort of, I'm in a weird pocket of energy. It is what it is. I spy with my eye. Drop down to yonder. Boop, boop. Phil, he's toxic. Ew, my nose. Pairs who don't sell themselves don't sell, so I hear. Cheers. I can't front on that. How are we looking here? Good pop. Wow. My neck's been doing stuff today. Where are we? Oh, this is where we're at. This is what we want. Right here. Wooden slats. I said slats, thank you. Ooh, windows. Right. Good. Good windows. Good. Good windows are good, Phil. Good job. I can fix that. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Oh, God, my eye. Thank you. I think I'd probably piss off the universe enough that I can get back to work. You? I can have simple. I don't have any kids of my own, but I do have a niece. And she's 10. And she has an iPhone. So I'm hanging out in the back seat, driving to someplace with the rest of the family. She's sitting next to me. She's on her phone. She's flipping through it. Lots of pictures. I'm like, where are you at? She says, I'm on Pinterest. Like, Pinterest? Really? 10-year-old kid hanging out on Pinterest. Why are you hanging out on Pinterest? She says, because there's tons of cat pictures. Look. And then she showed me a whole bunch of like really cute fucking cat pictures. I'm like, oh my God, that is actually pretty cute. And she's like, I like the funny ones. And so she shows me memes. Like, I don't know what a meme is. So I'm looking at it. It's just some random cat meme, you know, just like, you know, cat shit, whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, here, check this out. And I introduced her to I Can Has Cheeseburger. 10-year-old kid never had heard of I Can Has Cheeseburger. And I'm like, oh my. She spent 4 hours on I Can Has Cheeseburger, checking out Lolcat and Lolris, and it was very, very fun. I did not realize that I would be able to connect with the younger generation so easily through cat memes. It was actually a ton of fun. Plus, I'm a huge Lolris fan because it's my bucket. It's all about the buckets, man. It really was. It was amazing. It was great. And then like 2 days into the vacation, this is when I was out of town down in Nashville when I was off stream last month. So we're hanging out and talking smack, and she's like, I saw this meme once about XYZ, and I'm like, yeah, I showed that to you on I Can Has Cheeseburger 2 days ago. She says, oh yeah, that was really funny. It's like, oh, you've got bounce, kid. Good job. I think she's gonna be okay, man. I mean, she's obviously addicted to her phone, but I mean, who isn't? So cheers, welcome to America. She's gonna do okay. Smart crack. Super fun. I should actually make that a metal rivet. Erase that. I'm going to erase that. I feel like I should put this in stone. It's weird to have a prison in such a small little nowhere village, but I don't know if that's a dwarf thing or like there's, I don't know, maybe it's because they're all refugees with people that don't have any verifiable like it's like don't ask, don't tell sort of policy in the town. We're all a bunch of refugees or deserters from the last war. So it's like there's a strong, you know, don't ask, don't tell policy here. It's like, well, as long as you do the work, we're good with you. So makes you really wonder, why do they need a jail like that? I don't know the kind of people that actually show up here. That's I mean, I do because I wrote all of them, but I just mean retrospectively, from a player perspective. I wonder if anyone's gonna ask at some point, like, why so much prison here? This should be stone because of the fireplace. So that kind of makes sense. So I feel kind of like blocking that off and putting stone here and then putting stone here. I kind of feel like that's the right decision. Let's do that. Let's do that. You know what? This is why we get paid the big bucks. This is big brain decisions happening here, folks. This is civic planning right here. Civic engineering at its best. Right here at Phil Kearney. Get creative. What I'm talking about. You can ignore me as much as you want. Nothing but smack and barbecue over here, y'all. Please tell me those are different. Oh, thank God they're different. I'll have to come. Oh, I know how to fix that. Okay. Yeah, no. That's gotta go wrong. I spy with my eyes something that is text. God, I must be ramped up. I barely had any caffeine today. That doesn't make any sense. I am like so ramped. And like super off base. I always feel bad after talking smack about people I don't know or punching up. As long as I keep punching up, I think I'm okay. But at the same time, I gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them, you know? Hey, text. Run for profit. That's so wrong. That is so wrong. Yeah, this place is actually like a CIA safe house in the middle of like nowhere. Oh, you know, whatever the CIA would be in Karnath. Whatever that is. What a wonderfully fun conspiracy. Thank you for that. How terrifying for you. We'll do like this. Yes. Just like that. That's how we do. That is how we do. Back in black. I need a snack. I don't remember what comedian it was. I was talking about AC/DC growing old, but that was a fun quote. Like, back in black, I need a snack. Talking about Angus gaining weight. Proud to report, I was talking about at the beginning of the year. If you were around, you may remember this, but why would you? Because it's about me. But I made a New Year resolution that by July 4th, I would begin hitting the gym every day. And I've consistently gone to the gym every day since July 2nd. So I'm actually ahead of schedule. Bikes and free weights. So getting my cardio in, 20 minutes a day at a heart rate of at least 140. And then just free weights, chest, legs, and shoulders, arms, blah. So I am absolutely thrilled. I used to do a lot of weightlifting when I was in college, back in my 20s, when muscle was free, basically. At that age, if as long as you just pick up a weight, you're going to gain mass. It was so easy. But it's been surprising how quickly my body wanted to get back into that, and so I'm really been very pleased. So just reporting back to anyone that cared that I followed through with what I said I was gonna do. But that's kind of one of the things about being successful in your endeavors, is actually sticking to your conviction of doing what you say you're gonna do. and holding yourself accountable. And again, that's why I have the stream here, so I can hold myself accountable for pushing pixels, even if I'm begging the muse to not do it. She's like, get to work, son. That's why I'm here. I'm like, yes, ma'am. You pay your dues, Jack? Yes, sir. The check is in the mail. Pretty happy with that. Yeah. Dude, where's my... There it is. Where's my well? There. Open stone color. Concealed stone color. Hell yeah, man. Egg Shen. That was a great film to see in the theater. I love that movie. That whole cast is just so obvious how much fun they had with making, like, everything about that movie is campy. Like, all of it. The timing's outrageous. The characters are way over the top. It's such a fun film. They must have just had a blast making that movie. It just feels like it, and I love seeing shit like that. Just love it. Here, this is the color that I wanted. Thank you. They don't have any glass. Like, what a luxury glass would be out here. They'll likely just have some carpenters that know how to put some boards together. But yeah, so all the windows are basically just wooden panes that they open and close. Shutters, wooden shutters is essentially all they are. The ice cream truck came by right before I started, but I just didn't feel motivated to go grab an ice cream sandwich. I don't know if it's that God's already given me as many ice cream sandwiches that I can handle, or if I'm just making better choices for myself. I kind of lament that I don't have an ice cream sandwich sitting in my freezer, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, that is some serious ramble. That's a bunch of stuff, I feel. No, this is where whoa, hey there, timely timer. Okay, keep it up. Yes. Where is this at, though? Oh, prison stuff. Very good. Very good. Very good. Is that... Consistency is the crime. No. Yes. Well, what? Tibbet? Meow. Meow. Wait for it. Very good. And whoop. I'll have to get metal. Metal. We'll have to establish. We have metal over in the. That's right. We have metal over in the blacksmith shop. We can do that. Do 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 do. Do do do. Contemplating my next move. Later. We'll do that later. We don't hit the pipe until we're done working. I don't care how creative they say things can be. This is a job, and you gotta treat it like a job. afterwards. No pipe work until after. I don't know what my destiny is. I don't think anyone does, but it's I am blessed that I have these evenings and my mornings to be able to act like I wish my day was all day, every day. Maybe someday I'll grow to the point where I can have a successful Kickstarter project that'll feed me for 9 months while I jump online and do this stuff 10 hours a day, every day, and just work. I know it wouldn't be very punchy. Like, I could probably do a lot better in building subscription, like if I did like how to art. I mean, obviously I can art. I know how to art, and I know how to show other people how to art. So I could probably build a better channel that way somehow. But it's just, again, it's just the muse is not interested in that at all. She's like, yeah. It's like Natalie Portman opening her portal for guys on South Park. It just doesn't want to do it. I respect you, babe. That looks right. That right there. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, wrong block. Let's fold that up real quick. You're back being in a bigger that's the commons. I don't need to do that. You know what I do? Stone? Okay. Railing. Yeah, great cast. Classics. Maybe someday. But more than anything, I'm absolutely loving that I've been hearing on different YouTube feeds about creators and content production. A lot about like when it's obvious that things are being staged versus happening organically. And a lot of the conversations that are starting to trigger here is about sincerity, especially like on news channels. Like I'm a Breaking Points and The Hill fan, and they'll talk about it occasionally, about the sincerity of what you're doing and being true to yourself and what you envision the kind of work that you want to do, even if it's not as popular as other options could be, or there's a faster path to success if you were to do something in a different way, but it's not authentically what you want to do. I love that. That really just makes me feel like I'm building it right, you know? So anyway, talking business again, don't mind me. But it's cool because I've been talking about that, you know, it's what we've been saying since we first started playing, you know, to say it how 311 does. But authenticity, man, it's really, really important. Like if I were to get popular doing something one way, and then I started doing something different because I got to the point where, like they say, like what is it? The path you choose to take to get to where you want to be, so that you can start doing the things you originally wanted to do when no one was paying attention to you. You lose the ability to do the things you wanted to do because of all of the shit you had to do to get people to pay attention to you in the first place. There's a lot of harsh truth inside of that, and I'm really thrilled that I got to intuit it instead of learning it like some harsh way. I am forever thankful to Muse for her insisting that I do it this way. Maybe if I don't talk too much smack, but I still think I think punching up is still okay. If your Kickstarter is pulling $1 million, you can afford to get some smack talked at you if you fuck up. So I think I can stand okay behind that. So I'll stop apologizing for me being sassy now. Just had to kind of roll through that thought process there with you. So this is stone, so we need to get the stone language into effect over here. Where am you? Here we am. Well, ram you. I think I have a problem. Problem? Yeah, just a little bit there, Kearney. You picked the wrong color. I could technically make that wood. No, we'll just leave it stone. You should. RGB over here is telling me those are the same colors. This railing here and this this window slat. Again, no color vision. It's the only way I can tell is by using the RGB kicker over there and looking at the amount of dark. On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being black, 10 being white, that is the definition of value. So I think I just screwed up and I have to press those buttons again. Step. So we gotta have there and here, here. That can be wood. I like that. Now let's go find the actual color I was supposed to use. Where are you? There you am. This color is what I wanted. Thank you. If I press this button, will it do the whole thing? A bit. 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 There we go. Yes. Very yes. That is very Derek. It shouldn't be. Honestly, it shouldn't be anything. I don't know what color that's supposed to be. If it's black, it won't come. It's supposed to be a pipe that leads out of the stove, exhaling the smoke, but I'm not sure what the interior of the circle should be. I'm honestly, metal. It's just a dark metal color will probably be fine. We could probably get away with that. I am now looking for the color that I need for the stone texture. Wow. Thank you. Come back over here and zoom in. It's such a new layer on. I said a new layer. Thank you. And then we'll switch to R. Yes. Just like I'm that. Stone? Stone. Stone. Bits. There we go. Bit. 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 We'll do like that. It's not perfect, but it ain't bad. Cinderblock prison. Let's go play in the Cinderblock prison forever. I sentence you a life to a job that is boring. You'll wish you were dead. Mwahaha. No, basketball's a peaceful planet, not the people of basketball, please. Whoa. There was, you should look up on YouTube. Stay on my channel, but open another window or wait until the stream is over and go look up Hardware Wars, because that's funny. It's a spoof that came out in God, it's like I want to say 1982, but it was filler space when a movie wasn't quite long enough for another movie to start on HBO back in the day when HBO was new. They would sometimes have anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes of hang time between the end of a movie and the next one that's going to start on the hour or the half-hour block. So they wanted to keep that consistent. So they'd end up picking up all these little vignette pieces that they would just kind of fill in. They didn't have any, they'd have self-promotional commercials about like what we're playing this month, but those are maybe last 5 minutes. So if it was a really tight window, they could go ahead and do that. But they had all sorts of fun shit. Like there was an animated, it was like a 5-minute animation about a city that was being attacked by space invaders and other popular video game villains during the day, and all of these different video game heroes from the arcade machines were attempting to protect the city. And one of the superheroes, he had tilt on his chest, like he was Tilt Man, for pinball machines, and he just got obliterated. He just completely failed. It was awesome, but that was such a cool animation. But Hardware Wars was a comedy spoof making fun of. It was probably the first official spoof of Star Wars. Jim Henson's The Muppets had the cast of Star Wars, like Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford and others, whatever. Anyway, they would do that, and there was some guests like Johnny Carson and stuff like that would have the actors on and stuff. But I think the actual first, Saturday Night Live probably did something Star Warsy, and then Pigs in Space with the Muppet Show was pretty close, but Hardware Wars was just like a direct taunt onto that show, onto that movie, and it is super worth your time if you've never seen it. Super freaking funny. R2-D2 is a vacuum cleaner, and C-3PO is a rented Tin Man suit from The Wizard of Oz. It's so old. It's iconic. It is just so iconic. Completely worth your time. Mos Eisley bar was just a redneck bar in Texas. And Chewbacca was a Cookie Monster puppet. So they got a camera panning through this Texas Wrangler bar, and over in the corner is ham salad and Chewbacca the Wookiee monster. Just drinking Pabst. It's so awesome. It's just, oh god, it's so funny. Anyway, sorry, geeking out there. Oh my god, Hardware Wars, so freaking funny. Other thing worth watching is, if you haven't seen it, is the public service announcement at the beginning of the first Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie, performed by the metal band Mastodon about etiquette, about movie theater etiquette. And if you jiggle or kick the seat in front of you, you'll go into their house and tear your wife in half. It's great. It's very, very funny. Very much worth your time. Freaking Mastodon. I don't like most of Mastodon's music, but God, that PSA is freaking hysterical. Oh God, it's so good. Jeez, it's like I'm creating my watch next list right now. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Freaking hardware wars. What a freaking gas. What a gas. Yeah. That panned out. Cool. Now we metal. That's right. Metal. Not quite jiving there. There we go. That'll work. Yeah. No. That's a wooden mallet. Ain't gonna fly, Kearney. There. Ingots. Too dark. Oh. I need to finish that lathe? Nah, it's good. Seems awfully dark for what I'm attempting to do here. Oh, just hit the edge. Right. Zoom in. Hey, Fred, how you doing, my guy? How'd the monk turn out? If anyone that's hanging out here doesn't know how to RPG, Fred will teach you how. It's he's got a great channel, and he's building some really cool, different takes on the old D&D tropes of characters and breathing a lot of new life into them. It's very much worth your time checking out what he's building. 10 out of 10. Wood sass again. There we go. Can we go like this? Derp derp. Hey, we're 40 minutes into this mess. Door. The door. Metal door. And I think I can afford to move this. I spy with my eye something beginning with text. In a second, checking on the fun with y'all. Let's do that. I was hanging out on the Spelljammer Discord. It's just called Spelljammer. If you want to find it, you're certainly welcome to be there. Great crew. It's a really great mix of both 2nd edition and 5th edition enthusiasts. And no one identifies which edition they're talking about whenever they're talking about something involving the game, whether it's mechanics, lore, or whatever. It's like, wait a second, which edition are you talking about again? Like, I'm talking about 2nd edition. It's like, oh, okay, go on. And like, there's so little reference points between all of us. It's really funny. But somebody was listing off all of the 2nd edition content, like all of the large fleet battles that were in the books, but yet none of them actually were about fleet combat. It was just background stuff. So all this mass combat, fleet mechanic stuff that I've been working on, it's been something that D&D is basically backburned the entire career of the entire existence of the Spelljammer campaign setting. So I felt very, very proud that we have such light, fast, efficient fleet mechanics for our book. So I made an effort of bookmarking, or rather copying all the different documents that they were referencing that had significant battles in them, so that once our Spelljammer book publishes, I can go through to each of those modules and actually build out those fleets with the actual 5e translation combat scenario that folks can use our combat and exploration system with, to be able to have that epic scale battle. And I have successfully reverse engineered armies, like armies of people as opposed to flying ships. I've successfully taken the ship fleet mechanics and then translated those into troop mechanics or soldier mechanics. I had originally created soldier mechanics, and then we realized that our playtest team, we realized we could use those mechanics for vehicles, and so then we built out Spelljammer. And now that Spelljammer is built, we're realizing that we made changes to the original mechanics to better serve the nature of like high speed, like being able to shift gears between different scales of speed per round, and the stacking recharge mechanic for firing siege weapons. Those were things that we picked up during Spelljammer to account for siege weapon action economy and just the ridiculous speeds that Spelljammer ships can operate at. But it turns out we can reverse engineer that stuff back into the soldier mechanics. So now we have an even more efficient, smooth mechanic for operating large squads of troops or creatures or armies and stuff using the 5e core mechanics. So I'm really thrilled about that. Hey, what's up? Monk is a heart. Yes, it's gonna be a trial by acid. Trippy, dude. Well, Fred, I got faith in you, my guy, because you got the chops, you got the touch, you got the power. There we go. Boom, 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 down, boom, 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 boom. I'll stop. I lied. There's that. There's the texture. The door should probably be right. So let's do that. I think I know how I want to do this now. Blip and blop. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe this works. Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't. Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't. Sometimes I feel like a... And sometimes I... Nope. Yeah, I could probably... Nerf! I could probably get away with doing it like this. Nah. Let's do like that. It does mean I can get rid of the bar there, though. That does make sense. Yeah. Okay, so we got to go back up to leg up program. We're going to catch up the other kids by going slower. Yes. OBS, whatever that stands for, the software program that I use to stream, it wants me to do an update, and true to form, I don't want to, so my performance is starting to lag. Shocker. Shocking how when the computer, when a software company wants you to update with their latest version of something, that miraculously their old version stops working well. Real elegant solution there, industry. Well done. Well done. Yeah. Burp. That works. Oh my god, my itchy nose. This is coming along pretty well. I mean, yeah. Let's see. We got. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Go find a bunch of metal. I got the tires. Don't mind me. So, color. Call this building, and now we'll start filling in knickknacks. I think that's what we were calling this stuff. Knickknacks. Knickknacks. What color did I pick up? Gray. Why did I pick that up? Metal. Oh, I haven't done. Yes. See, once I finish the sheriff's office, the mayor's apartment should be pretty easy because there's nothing in here that isn't over here. So I'll just be able to pop and knock this one out pretty quickly, and that'll leave us with only the storage and silo. Storage warehouse and silo. That'll be the last thing we have to worry about. We also still have some roofs to do, but we're not going to worry about that right now either. I still haven't bothered doing the roof, which is why I knew when I was doing tokens last week that I was completely procrastinating, because if I hadn't finished my roofs yet and I want to do art on tokens and creatures and stuff, I love doing art on tokens and creatures and stuff. Please get me wrong. But I was obviously shirking my duties. So could not let that hang. There, let's do this. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do it like that. Oh, neck pop. just like that. And I'm going to... No, that's wood. I need to grab stone. Turn them into stone. Yeah. Nope. You disappear. You stay there. Danku. Danku. There's two major points of pain in my body. One is in my neck and one is in my hip. The one in my neck is a result. I have two vertebrae that are decayed to the point that I am as though an 80-year-old man. And that occurred because when I was a 5-year-old, I rode my bike off a 15-foot cliff and landed on my face. Did not see that coming. I mean, literally did not see it coming. I was blinded by the sun and just rode my bike off a cliff. Cheers. And this is back in like 1980. So like chiropractic wasn't really even a thing, especially for kids. They just stitched up my chin and sent me back on my way. And I had 20 stitches in my chin as a 5-year-old kid. So basically, I had a giant smiley scar along the bottom of my. It's like an extra fold. So hence the goatee, which I never shave. But and then the hip injury was when I was in college. I was 20 years old, and I was crossing a highway, and I didn't see a truck. And the driver of the truck never imagined that I wouldn't stop walking. But he doesn't know me. So if he knew me, he would know I have no idea you're there, buddy. And he would have stopped. So instead, he hit me with a 2-ton truck at 60 miles per hour. And I fucking lived. So I got hit on the hip. And it threw me up onto the windshield. And I tore off his windshield wiper with my face, apparently. I had already blacked out. But then he skidded on his brakes and he launched me 100 feet into a ditch nearby. And while that's going on, there was an ambulance heading our way. And they saw the whole thing, the paramedics. They saw the whole thing happen. And so the thing is that they were driving back to the hospital because somebody called because they had a heart attack, but it turned out it was just indigestion. So they didn't have anyone. It was a false ride. So they had an empty truck. So they saw me get splattered on the road, and they just literally just stopped and just scraped me up off the street and dropped me into the ambulance and kept heading to the hospital. I didn't even get billed. They didn't even bill me for the ambulance ride because they're like, we were coming back anyway. We already charged the guy from the false heart attack. So don't worry about it. But oh my god, so I have this weird tension in my hip because all the muscles all calloused and scar tissue, and it locks up a lot in there, and so it limits my wiggle mobility, and then the neck here is all eroded. So whenever I'm doing things in my life, and sometimes I'll have a thought, like an intuition will come to me. And either my neck or my hip will pop. We'll just go, like, we've released tension from your body because you made such a great intuitive decision. And it's like, I don't know if that's actually what's happening, but that's the narrative that I run with. It makes me feel like I've done something correct when I have a thought or an idea about doing something, and then my body goes, pop, you were correct. I'm like, neat. But that's my Phil got splattered by a truck story, and Phil fell off a cliff story. So you get to carry that with you for the rest of your days as well. You are welcome. Why is that so messy? Let's go and let's go fix that real quick. Cause God, what a shit show over here, Kearney. Oh, look at that. Fix that crap. You're better than this, Kearney. You must have been exhausted when you were doing this. Today when I'm exhausted, I just ramble on and sing my song, but sometimes I just do bad work. And then I get to find out about it later on like this. And then you go, what the hell was I thinking? Like, look, some of this line art is just dog trash. I feel like if I don't fix it now, I might not ever fix it because I'll forget about it. Where are you, buddy? Maybe you're down. Hey, not too far off target. Good. Found you quick enough. Yeah, my life has just been a cascade of one miracle after another. You're like, why aren't you dead yet? It's pretty fucking awesome. And my Nexus popped, so I know it's true. I am fucking awesome. Hands down. Yes. I live in Seattle, and if there's a nuclear war, there's three military bases within like 15 miles of me. So the running gag here is that if there's nuclear war, we're all dead. So my running joke is it's going to take a nuclear bomb to finally kill me. So I'll carry that. That's just amusing to me. I mean, maybe it's just amusing to me, period. But I thought I'd share. You were here somewhere, chum. Where were you at? Wait a second. That's the sheriff. I'm gonna go down here to Smathy. Yes. Back at it. Here we go. There's also Helens that could pop off with the next surge of earthquakes along our shoreline. That would absolutely just destroy the entire west coast. That'd be cool. That'd be a worthy ending. I don't want nuclear war, but I would certainly high five when I'm dead that I was right. That's what it took to kill me. Where's my bits? Why are there no bits down here? There it is. All right, it's been an hour. Oh my God, it's been 40 minutes. It's been an hour and a half. Hold on. Hold on. I went crazy for a second, but I got a little bit left in me today, so I'm going to keep at it until I burn out. I'm almost done. We got another 20 minutes left in this, and then I'll kick out of here. Why was I chasing this is? I'm sure I had a good reason. This is, yeah. There we go. Yeah. Yes. There. That's what I wanted. That's some slop. Whatever, Kearney. Where are you at over here? Right. Fireplace. Oven. Fireplace, the place where you put the fire. Some serious astrophysics we got going on here. This is a wooden, it's like a hat rack or a coat rack. It's a rack of some sort. It's a wooden rack. trying to narrate here. Wooden rack. But that also applies to things like a wooden table. A lot of wood in this building. I'm okay with that. Another wooden rack over here. I'm gonna use that. I don't know what I'm doing. You can ignore me. Let's see. Where's some other? There's like wood all over the place. What about you got any chairs someplace else around here? No, there's a consistent wooden vibe like this. I'm good to go. Wood. Look, it's a stack of plates and some silverware. This sheriff has like food for 5, or he has like 5 place settings. Either he doesn't like doing his dishes very frequently. Where the fuck would he do his dishes? This guy needs a bucket. He needs a bucket for his room. I'm gonna have to get him a bucket, because how else is he gonna wash his dishes? He's gotta go get a bucket and wash things off. No wonder he has so many plates. Fuck, that'd be obnoxious to have to do that over and over again. Can't blame. Is this the... Wait. Do I want to use this color? Yes, I do. Use that color. Probably means I need to go back to the smithy and everywhere else that's got wood and fix it all. But I'll cry that river another day. Right now, let's just go with our consistent wood vibe. I'm in a space right now, don't mind me. We're gonna be back. So we do this. If there's any lurkers out there hiding, welcome to the mix. We do this 6 days a week, Monday through Friday. We have 3 projects, 4 projects we're working on right now. On Monday through Friday, we build. We're currently creating all the interior artwork for the pages of the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration supplement that we've been working on literally for a year. Well, 11 months now. It'll be... Yeah, well, we started on the 17th of August. Technically, we started in January. Well, technically, we started in November 2021 with our mass combat command mechanics, and then Spelljammer. Then I had to rebuild it with the first draft didn't work, so I had to rebuild the whole thing. And then the second go, we had that one up and running. We had that one up and running and ready to. Well, we had already been playtesting it, and we're considering our next move when August 2022 hit and Spelljammer dropped. When we had just figured out how to do Mad Max vehicle mechanics from Descent into Avernus, and they are good mechanics. Really freaking fun, fast, aggressive. Like, playtesting that shit was fun. It was fun. Descent into Avernus has, because of the playtesting and the stuff that we've been developing, DIA has become my absolute favorite campaign. It is such a the adventure as written is garbage. Let's just punch up a little bit. Okay, it's dog crap. It's a shit adventure. But it's so open source. It's so easily modified. that we were able to play test a ton of stuff inside of it for mass combat with the Blood War, the vehicle mechanics with the Infernal War Machines, and then Spelljammer dropped, and we realized that we could use the vehicle mechanics from the War Machines in the Spelljammer ships. So that was August 2022, August 17th when the book dropped. And so we hammered out the book, and all of it's done now, except that I just have to fill it with artwork. So our morning stream Monday through Friday for anywhere from 100 to 120 some odd minutes, we'll do page art, diagrams and shit like that. And then Mondays and Thursdays, like now, we do this cartography stuff and creature tokens for the Eberron adventure that we've been writing. That's also been like a year and a half in progress. It's just, it took forever for us to build it. Then we had to play test it a lot. And we had to rebuild some of the maps 3 times to make the adventure work properly, and all the internal logic and shit, and the structuring, the Jacques open style of braiding the plots, the different plot points. I call it braiding because if you follow one thought or another plot line or another plot line, they all eventually weave together to a single point. It's like kind of like a level up point, or like moving from Act 1 to Act 2. There's a number of different ways you can get to different points inside of the adventure that are like points of focus, where the team gets to reset and consider their next move and move out again, and then it fans out into different options. So it's kind of like a French braid, or not French braid, just a braid, where you have all these different plot lines that are kind of circling around each other, that the team can drop, like, and shift gears from one plot line into another without even necessarily realizing it. But the DM can maneuver inside of the document with all the different things, that NPCs and locations that are there. The DM can be navigating through that space. It doesn't really matter what the players do. The adventure pretty much has you covered. As long as they stay inside the environment of the adventure and don't just run away, you're pretty covered. So we call that braiding. So it took a long time for us to figure out how to braid the adventure properly. And once we did, and then we had a number of DMs that were running it, and they've all loved it so far. So like, yeah, the context is good. It's a toolbox, so I didn't run it exactly as written, but they're like, but I took everything in there, I made it my own. It's like, that's the best way you could have an adventure. Like if you got teams that are playtesting and stuff, it's like, yeah, everything in here was useful. I did this, and this, which wasn't in it at all. Is that useful to you? It's like, yes, tell me what you use, tell me everything. And it ended up being super useful. So that was fantastic. So that took forever, but it took forever to do. So and now that the scratch rough maps are all good, and we know what the dungeons are like and all the blah blah, it's still going through text editing for formatting to make sure there's consistency between each section, so it's easy for the DM to grok and navigate. And we have Stuart Braz who's doing that, and Stuart's just freaking amazing. He's got a really great analytical mind. So if you see anything with Stuart Braz, B-R-O-Z, he's like bro but with a Z, like he's the last of us. If you stumble into his stuff, it's super worth your time. Just like that. So he's hashing out. He's now starting to work on the third act. There's 3 acts, and he's starting to work on the third act. So he's closing in on it, and once he's done, I suspect we'll just about be done with Spelljammer art when he finishes up the editing for that, which will allow us to then take it out and do the page layouts as we do. You can see that on the Spelljammer stream that I've done around episode, I want to say like around episode 90, 120, somewhere in that zone, amidst the tokens. Started doing page layouts for that stuff, but killer, super freaking cool stuff. Yeah, so Monday through Friday I do the Spelljammer stuff. Mondays and Thursday nights like this, we do all the Eberron stuff, the cartography for all the maps I was just talking about. But then on top of that, we do all the creature tokens, the NPC tokens, the magic items. Very similar to like episode, I want to say like episode 90, starting at episode 92, 95 of the Spelljammer streams when we started doing tokens. And like back around episode 70 of the Spelljammer streams when we were doing ship tokens. So you can check that out to see the token creation process that we just began here in Eberron as well. When I need to take a break from doing maps, I'll do some token work. But soon enough, when Spelljammer's off my plate, we'll move Eberron forward and do that Monday through Friday in the mornings. And then on Tuesday at lunchtime, once a week, we work on game mechanic development for the martial power system I've been developing for for 5th edition, inspired by both 3rd and 4th edition character fighter options, basically, or powers, right? That should be a good color. And once Eberron moves to Monday through Friday, then martial powers will move to Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I do martial powers right now Tuesday at lunchtime. But once Eberron's on Monday through Friday, then we'll be able to advance martial powers up to, like I said, Mondays and Thursday nights like this. So like in 2 months, hopefully by the end of August, like this time that we're spending together right now, we'll be doing martial power system development instead of artwork. And then on Saturday, I do commissions. And currently the commission that I'm working on is the book cover for Joseph Vasquez's new role-playing game, Reclamant, which is about Yggdrasil descending from heaven and bringing with it hordes of fae, elementals, and monsters to punish mankind for the Industrial Revolution before we get out of hand. Nature wants to smite us, and then so Yggdrasil descends onto the earth, and the Feywild unleashes Fey hell upon us all. I believe that's a fair assessment of what that role-playing game is about. So we do that on Saturday, and when that book cover is done, we'll Andy Headley, who helped me write this adventure that we're working on now, he's working on something else since it's written. His job here is done. So he moved on to another project. He does a lot of Call of Cthulhu horror type stuff, and he has a horror campaign that he has asked me to create the book cover for that. So once Reclamant's book cover is done, we'll move to Andy's. I don't know the name of the adventure yet from Andy, but Brian Holmes is the editor for that project, and I love Brian. Brian is such a great guy. He took me under my wing, and he's always been he's one of my go-to guys for doing color referencing and checking to make sure that what I did is good. It's I really trust his opinion on stuff. So I love seeing him working with Andy because they're both just great guys. And so that's my Monday through Saturday workload. And so lurkers, getting back to the point, lurkers, if you're new here, you are welcome to like, subscribe. You can catch me on Twitter to get notifications when I'm live, but those are the 6 days a week. That's the type of work that I do for at least a couple hours a day. And then I do a lot of stuff offline as well, like my off time hours, like when I'm hanging out with people and like whatever. I can't sleep at night or whatever it is I got going on, then I continue doing Spelljammer artwork just to get it out of the way. And I'll be doing the same with this Eberron book. I'll have some stuff online, and then the rest of it I do offline. Kind of like with the water that I did, the flooded fortress and the underground swamp, and yeah, I did a lot of that offline. The cemetery, the flooded cemetery, I did a lot of that offline. I think those are okay. I sense the end is near. I've got 3.5 minutes left, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll end up stopping here for the day. How's this look? I think I can have more pale. sheet. Wrong building, Kearney. Stay on point. Wood. Wood. Paper. Any more paper up in here? No. Butter dish. Again, I need to get a bucket in here. I got a bucket here. I can get that bucket in here too. I don't want to mix up those buckets though. Those are very different buckets. Very, very different buckets. Do not get them confused. Oh, that's something I can do real quick. This will be my finishing move. Show us your moves. Yes! Yes! Oh, ho, ho. Perfection is only a day away. What's up that? Smudge it into place. Why are you disappearing? Let's grab that business. Copy, paste. Click it on over to here. Merge down. Merge down. Yes, I'm going to merge down. Merge down. Merging down. Merging on it down. Merging down. Merging down. No, merging down. Yeah, that's some slop. Get rid of the slop, Kearney. Sloppy Kearney. Meowzahar? Nope. Meowzahar? Nope. Meowzahar? Nope. Meowzahar? Algernon? Hey, how about that? This is Tone of Happiness. That is our victory tune. We're looking okay here. So like I said, I'm going to bounce out of here. We ain't quite done yet, but boy, we tore a chunk out of that today. I'm happy with this. So I'll be able to finish up all this and then replicate everything over here. Put in our slats throughout here. We're gonna leave this a dirt floor, but we'll put some planks in here to have that be a little raised dais and some stairs there. We'll use all the exact same language of the wooden structures that we have over here, like in this area around in here. So we should be able to move through that pretty quickly. I'm hoping there's about the same amount of junk here as there is here, but we'll have all the language locked down, so it won't be so much stutter about it. So we should be able to knock this out next session, which is going to be Monday. And then that means we'll be in here, and this is also using a bunch of language that we already recognize. So we should be able to finish that up on Thursday. This will also be a dirt floor. So all of our interiors will be done, I'm thinking by this time next week. And then we have the roofs to put on. And we only need roofs yet for these three buildings that we haven't finished yet. So once we have the interiors done, we'll put the roof back on and we'll put the shingles on the roofs. This here has very specific architecture with 2 floors. That was going to be very fun for us to play with. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to do this one last. I'm going to do here and then here and then here, interior, and then rooftop, and then the mill. We'll do the second floor of the mill and the rooftop. So I'm thinking Monday, Thursday, and then back to rooftops on Monday. Probably have the rooftop. I may be able to have the rooftop for both these buildings completely done by this time next week. And that means that a week from Monday, we'll hopefully have this mill done. We'll set that as our deadline. A week from Monday, we'll be done with this map. And then we get to come back and we get to bloody it up, because this is the peaceful version of the map. In the adventure, at some point, if the DM chooses or wants to use that plot line, undead come into town, slaughter everybody. So there's bloody mess everywhere, and there's plant life growing out of the corpses that are related to Mabar. So the team gets that. If you can't push them into the forest, get the adventure going, having a horde of undead shamble out of the forest and slaughter everybody is like, I wonder where that horde of undead came from. Like that's like the big railroad move. Like if you can't motivate your team to head north for any reason whatsoever, just throw a bunch of undead from the north at them. They'll be like, oh, there's probably more undead northward. It's like, great, good. And then you lead them to a cemetery where there is in fact a shitload of undead. So enjoy that. But yeah, that's our plan. So I'll be back tomorrow morning, and we'll continue our rhino beetle attack on the space galleon for our Spelljammer Adventures in Space artwork. And then on Saturday in the morning, we'll work on the Reclamant artwork. It's just basically a Bob Ross painting. So if you like Bob Ross, but you like my sass, I'm a little less peaceful. But it's all the same techniques. So you'll be able to see how I use Photoshop tools to duplicate not just the look of Bob Ross, but like the actual how he does it, like the actual physical process without using physical paint or an easel. I can actually do it in Photoshop. So you guys can, if you were with me on Saturday, if you check out the commission art stream for Reclamant, you'll see I made some happy mountains in the background that are very similar to how Bob Ross does it, just with digital tools instead of his trusty paint knife. But yeah, so we'll do that on Saturday, and then on Monday we'll be back again, Monday through Friday, working on Spelljammer art, and Monday night continue working on this. Tuesday, Spelljammer in the morning, martial powers at lunchtime, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then on Thursday night, just like this, we'll be back 1 week from now. And by then we should be working on the interior here and on the rooftop for the sheriff's for the constable's house. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point, which is a good indication I should be done. So I'm going to check out. Thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out with me while you're here. If you're a lurker, like I said, I'm here a lot. So if you like listening to me ramble on, or you like the art, or you want to find out more about blah, join the channel, hit me up. Otherwise, catch me on Twitter at Phil Kearney. Check out my Patreon at Phil Kearney. Like, subscribe to the channel. And if you know where I lurk on Discord, hit me up. Say hey. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.